All right. Yuck. Well, I knew this was coming, so I did a little preparation. I'll show you a few tips that I did to try to keep it a little warmer in here. And one, you see, this is the propane outlet. I don't use the propane, but I have an electrical cord running there. And that goes over to the power outlet over here. So no water, not hooked up to water. I do have the tank about 3/4 full of water, and the cord actually is running in here to a trouble light. And that trouble light's got a 100-watt incandescent bulb in it. It puts off some heat, and it is pointed directly at the water pump. And other than that, I just turn on the hot water pads. There's heating pads on the freshwater, gray, and black tank, and I just turn that on, and hopefully that is preventing any freezing. It was, I don't know what it was. It was 28 when I got up this morning, so it's not bitter cold or anything. But I'm living, so I'll show you a few things. You know, one of the things I do is I have an electric, this is a ceramic heater. It's a Honeywell. Wasn't very expensive. Our other one died. We're so sad because it was a great one. But I run that on low. Haven't even tried the high all night because the rockwood keeps its temperature pretty well. But this is right near the entrance. A cool spot, of course. And I keep the doors open, cracked into the bathroom, because this is where you've got a lot of plumbing. You have your toilet and the shower, and of course your kitchen sink. But I'll leave this open because there is quite a bit of plumbing back there, and that's also where the outside shower connects. And per one of my online YouTube Rockwood Mini Lite followers, or on Facebook, suggested don't forget to insulate that shower. And sure enough, I had kind of forgotten about that, so hats off there. And I'll leave that open so that this area stays fairly warm and we're not getting any freezing going on in here. Just the more you have things open, the warmer it's going to stay. So that's a good idea to follow. Now, of course, I have my tank heaters switch on. That's the one for the freshwater gray and black. If you don't have that option and you're going to do some cold weather camping and in freezing temperatures, I really recommend that you upgrade to this. If you're not going to be in freezing temperatures and camping, I wouldn't bother with the extra money, of course. Well, it's melting a little bit right now, but thought I'd go ahead and show you this side panel. There's the hookup. So it's right next to my pump, and I just put up another foam sheet right there just to add a little bit more insulation. I want to insulate on the inside of this panel right here and get that working a little bit better. And then I think I'll just go ahead and turn off the 20 volt. So I'm just plugged in right there. I'll just turn that off for now. And then later when I get back, I'll go ahead and turn it back on. So the other thing that I did also stick some insulation in. Someone on Facebook Mini Lite group suggested it, and I had forgotten about it. It's the outside shower, because I never used the thing. Is I stuffed inside over here. There's a big hole going in with these pipes right here with the water. So I went ahead and just stuffed a rag in there. I never use it, like I said, but Yeah, good point made by someone. I forgot I need to do that. All right, one other thing to show you on winterizing, or not necessarily putting it over for winter, but to keep your camper warm. On the couch, I'm going to take that bottom lip out. It's just velcroed in on the sides, and I'm going to pull this out. Okay, got that off and just laid down. Now, under here is your wheel well, and that is just a thin black plastic wheel well, and it's totally exposed in here. In other words, the only thing between you and the outside is that thin plastic. So what I did is I took a moving blanket and I laid it over this. You notice you have your water lines running through here, but you lose a lot of heat through this area. Now, one thing I noticed when we were doing this is right back under that slide, and you can still see some outside light back there. That's where the seals come in, and I can still feel a little cool air, and that's going to be very difficult. Now, I did pull the slide in to make sure that nothing will catch at all. You don't want this catching when you bring the slide in, because your gears are right there. You don't want to mess that up. So let me show you what I did outside. So basically all I did was stick a rag in there, and that took care of 90% of it. Now you still have a little corner over there where the flange bends in a little bit, and you could stick something there, but I've obviously got to remember to take this out before I bring the slide in. But that did cut down a great deal. Now, the big winning ticket. No frozen lines. There's the heater tape. And I did have these. I had them on before, and I took them off to put the heater tape on. Now they're a little short, simply because I connected it up here. So I've got just a little bit of touch up to work. I put this on kind of quick the other night. I need to wrap these down better, and then I'll unplug it there and then hang it up here and secure it for travel. I'm just going to leave it on. Now, I got too long of a cord. I could have gotten a shorter one. So with the excess, I just ran it along the underbelly on the freshwater tank. And by golly, it was in the 20s the last 2 nights, and this morning when I got up, I actually had warm water from the cold water tap. But it didn't get too hot. That's what I was concerned about. So this is the winning ticket. This is the only section that I have exposed water lines on the whole 2109S. So, update. Did it work? And yes, indeed. Putting the heater tape under there and running that on the outside lines that were under here, that really did the trick. I wrapped them all up carefully, and they are taped down to the water tank so they won't move. We're going to be traveling today, and the little heater inside, the black utility heater I bought for inside, is just way overkill. We even had it on low and low, low heat and low fan, and got warm. So this is sealed up very well. So the those tricks, just being sure that your under exposed water lines get heated up very well using a heater tape, and I've got it wrapped around and secured pretty well. It should travel for a long time. I'll just check those wiring and the tape just to make sure it stays. I could use Eternabond on that, and oh boy, if I do the Eternabond, it's going to be a bear to get off, so that stuff is crazy. But hey, we slept real good. Spent 6 nights here below freezing every night. One night it did freeze up before I did the heater tape, and was just using the 100 watt bulb in the pass-through area, and once I put in the little space heater down there, that was fine. It was just the exposed lines that froze. So yeah, you can do it, but you're going to need electrical hookup. Okay, we are stationary now for 2 months, so we're going to be here at Picacho Peak RV Resort north of Tucson, Arizona. Let me tell you, just go through what's going to work for us. I've tried it out for 2 nights now, and it's been in the 20s. So I have a cord plugged into the side of my wall. All right, this is a power strip, and it runs into the power, the propane inlet. And you can see here, this cord runs over to the hot water heater tape. Now in here, there's my power strip. So all I got to do is reach in there and turn that on. What that will do, because there's the other cord is running to the other side, I'll show you, that's the 100 watt bulb on a trouble light. So all I got to do is reach in there and turn that on. So it really makes it pretty easy. I turn it off during the day. There's no sense running electricity. We got to pay extra for electricity. So I have the trouble light right there, and I will just stick that up there. And the trouble light keeps us nice and toasty in here. No issues at all. I don't have anything on it. This I use to put over the water pipes down there. And I do disconnect when it's going to be freezing. I just disconnect this hose and take this off from the side, blow out the hose, let the water drain out, and run out on the ground so the line doesn't freeze. But it's really that easy. Now, like this post does not have a 20 amp outlet, so I can't run anything over there. It just has a 30 amp, and I do have those rags stuffed in there, and I did put one on each corner, so that'll help out just a little bit. But that's about it. I'm going to do a little bit more insulation. There is absolutely nothing, there is no thickness to that little side panel at all, like these. Pardon, I got to clean them up. Yuck. But that's how we're doing it. It's warming up into the 50s each day, might be in the 60s. And we're running the little Honeywell white ceramic heater inside, keeps us way toasty. And I love that one because it's quieter than a utility heater that I bought. And it was just noisy as heck. I'm going to give that away to a shelter and see if somebody can use it. And that is it, guys. Plus the other stuff I showed you, it's working great. I'm not popping any electrical lines, which I did with running the 2 heaters. So remember, that was a 1500 watt, and I'm sure this other little white Honeywell is close to that. And even running it on low with the other stuff going and trying to heat inside, it would pop the breaker. So you got to be careful of your overloads. Don't go too crazy. It's not going to hurt anything. It just pops the breaker. So I hope that helps out a little bit. We're right here under the shade in the afternoon. The sun goes right down over that, and we get darker way early. Hope that helps out, guys.